Hello everyone. Let's see. Let's see if this is working. Okay. Hello. Um, this is working. Just give me a minute to make sure I know what I'm doing. I actually am not completely sure if this is up and running properly. I haven't done this in a while. When was the last time I went live? I don't have my studio up right now, but it might have been pre-spring or during the spring. I don't know. Oh yeah. It was sometime during spring, unless I misremember. Uh, I also don't know how many people are watching this right now. Probably zero. That's why I put "It's okay, no one's watching" in the thumbnail. I will just because I'm a sad person. I'm gonna send this link to some of my friends. Hold on. Happy end of 2021. This has been a pretty rough year. Uh, don't really have much to say right now on YouTube. So, what is this live stream? Uh, so as you can see, thanks to Victor Orlando, I have a list of all the Walt Disney Animated Studios movies, and I did make the impulsive last minute decision to live stream myself reviewing all of them. I think we did Pixar at the beginning of the year. I think Pixar was at the beginning of the year, and now we're just going to do Disney. Now, I'm fully aware that uh, Disney and Pixar are basically the same company now. Ever since Disney bought out Pixar, and I don't just literally mean in terms of who owns the company. I mean quality wise, we've seen a little bit of a dip in Pixar, but that's okay. I think. I don't remember if I did my Pixar live stream before or after Luca. Uh, I think I did it after Luca because I have Luca logged on my letterbox. So I so that would have been in the summer. What am I saying? Spring. Again, this is just an awkward live stream. So yeah, how are we going to do this? Uh, I don't really know. So I have the list of films here. We can log these. And apparently I've watched two of these already. So those are probably logged in the first video I did when I took recommendations for movies. Probably. Hold on, I need to respond to this message. And I can't really pause the live stream, I think, without without stopping the whole thing. There might be a way to do that, but I'm too dumb to figure it out. Just give me a minute. Yeah. I'm also not checking the chat, but I'm 100% sure that there's nobody here watching, which is okay. Knowing me, I'm going to delete this later here. So, I think there's also a way to pause it here. But I don't know how. I think I did it at one point. I think I was able to pause it at one point, but I don't remember how. Because the first time I tried to pause it, the whole thing just went haywire and ended the live stream, and I had to delete it. Uh, okay, let's do this. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Let's see. Let's go in chronological order. I'm going to review every one of these movies that I remember watching. So I've watched most of these. Well, by the way, when we say the animated studio, so there's a specific studio Walt Disney Animated Studios. We're just gonna go with that list. We're gonna exclude all the like quasi Disney movies that were kind of Disney but not made by this particular studio. So that includes all the Pixar movies, uh, and any other. We're not gonna do like Mary Poppins because I don't think that was Walt Disney Animated Studios. This list looks accurate. I remember reading that there were 58 of them at some point, but this list was last updated a year ago. So yeah, I don't think it contains the the most recent one that was released, the two most recent ones, Raya and Encanto. I haven't seen those anyway. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. This is in chronological order, I believe. I see Snow White first. I know that was the first Disney movie. And oh, thank God, there are two people watching. I also have Tier Maker up. So I can't use my ad blocker on this site, which means my laptop is dying. But we're gonna put them on the tier list as well because that was a trend a while back, and it takes me like 2 years for me to do anything. Uh, so I highly doubt anyone's watching this. It's okay. This is just because it's the end of the year and I feel obligated to post something. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna go in chronological order and we're gonna rate them. Number scores don't really matter, and then we're gonna put it on the tier list. Just so we can establish what these tiers mean, we need to put an F tier. I don't think there will be any. Oh, let's add a row below. I don't think there will be any. I don't think there will be any F tiers. Perhaps. Oh my god! I just fucked this up completely. All right. Let's establish right now that there are. I don't believe any of these are going to get the 10 out of 10. I reserve. I have historically reserved the 10 out of 10. Oh my gosh, what happened? I've historically reserved the 10 out of 10 spot for my absolute favorite movies of all time. I don't give that to many people, many movies. So I highly doubt any of these are going to get that. I do love Disney though. We're gonna say that S corresponds to like 9 out of 10. A is gonna be 8. B is gonna be 7. C is gonna be 5 or 6. Remember from the Marvel video that 5 doesn't mean bad. You've all been brainwashed by the American education system to think that 5 out of 10 means bad. Okay? Now that I've taken a statistics class, we're going to say that 5 is the mean, median, and mode of all movies. If I were to watch every movie that ever existed, 5 out of 10 would be the mean, median, and mode. So, wow. I didn't really learn much in stats. I'm sorry, professor, but I was not good at stats. I hated that class. Uh, D is going to be 4 and 3 out of 10. And F is going to be for the 2s and 1s. I don't think anything's going to get a 2 or a 1 because I reserve those tiers, those ratings for actual garbage. And I don't think any of these are garbage, but it's been a while since I've watched most of these. I don't think I've watched any of them recently. So, yeah. And I can have some pretty hot takes when it comes to these. So, okay. So, I've been dilly-dallying for too long. What the fuck is this website? All right, let's just start. Again, number, scores, and tiers don't really matter. I'm just here to talk. Okay. I will occasionally check back the chat because I do see that someone is watching now. Hello. All right, let's do this. Okay, let's do this. We're going to go in chronological order. I have never seen Snow White. I know I'm a film bitch, but I've never watched this movie. I haven't watched most of the old ones. I've never watched Pinocchio. I've never watched Fantasia. Fantasia's not really a movie. Have I watched the Barbie movies? No, I have not watched the Barbie movies, but I know that Greta Gerwig is directing the next one, and Greta Gerwig has never made a bad movie in her life. So, I won't pay to watch a Marvel movie anymore, but I will now pay to watch the Greta Gerwig Barbie movie starring Margot Robbie, right? Yes, I will pay to watch Greta Gerwig Barbie movie. I will pay for that. Okay, Fantasia is not really a movie. It's more of a collection. It's a visual concert. It's not really a movie. This is the oldest Disney movie that I watched, Dumbo, and I remember really liking it as a kid. But now I know that it's these crows. One of these crows is literally named Jim Crow, and now I know that this movie's kind of racist. And I can tolerate a lot of things, but I draw the line at racism. And I get that it's 1941. It just didn't age well, but it's a good kiddie movie. It's fine, I guess. If you account for the fact that I really did like it as a kid, and I probably still would enjoy it now because I'm a softie and I would rather watch the Barbie movie in theaters than the Marvel movies apparently now. Um, but factoring in the fact that these crows are racist depictions, uh, it's not overtly racist in that it's actively promoting harming people, but it is a bad stereotype. And naming your crows Jim Crow, come on, give me yeah. Uh, 4 out of 10. Let's move on. I haven't watched Dumbo in like 10 years though, so I could be wrong with how I'm remember. I could be remembering it differently. All of these are short films, I believe. These are from the World War II era, so there's a lot of propaganda in them. Never watched any of them. I don't think I ever will. Never watched Bambi, although I probably should. I watched this movie a very long time ago, maybe 10 or 12 years ago, and I don't remember a thing, so it's not really fair for me to rate it. Uh, I never watched Cinderella. I plan on watching the new one with friends because it's bad. I prefer to watch bad movies over good movies. Good movies are not that fun to watch with friends, if you ask me. I would rather watch trash, and I know that the Camila Cabello Cinderella is like, I think the number one review of it on Letterboxd is like, we've girl bossed too close to the sun, and I really want to see what that looks like. Alice in Wonderland, I've never watched that. I don't do drugs, but I feel like if I did, this would be one of my favorites. Let's move on. Peter Pan has the same problem as Dumbo because it's racist. There's a song called "What Made." I'm doing most of this from memory. My Disney trivia is decently good, I think. Um, I used to be number in the top five in the U.S. for Quiz Up for Disney songs, Disney music. So I would be able to complete the lyrics, but it was really just because I memorized all of the answers, which is really how I study for biochemistry these days. Peter Pan has a song called "What Made the Red Man Red." It's not. I don't have as fond memories of this movie as Dumbo. I do think Captain Hook is the better character out of anyone in both of those movies. So he's pretty entertaining, but it's also got some racist depictions. Again, nothing that's overtly central to the plot and completely breaks it, as in something really racist like Song of the South, which is not on this list. Oh, I forgot to update the tier list. I don't know if all of these movies are here. Oh, Dumbo's here. We said that 4 out of 10 is D. I'm gonna give Peter Pan the same thing as Dumbo. 4 out of 10. I do it out of 10, by the way. Okay. Well, me too. Yeah, I memorized all of that stuff. I hard forced myself to remember all the amino acids to the point where now I can draw them from memory. I feel like that's going to be a live stream now, a charity live stream. I have not watched Lady and the Tramp in like 15 years, so we're gonna skip that. I remember liking Sleeping Beauty as a lot as a child, but it's been 15 years at least since I've watched this movie. I can't accurately rate it. 101 Dalmatian. Most of these old ones I have never seen. So yeah, sorry, boomers. Sword in the Stone. This is the one with Merlin with the meme where he's in a Hawaiian shirt. So I would probably give it an extra point for that because it's funny. The Jungle Book. I don't remember watching this one. I think I watched the remake with Scarlett Johansson on the plane ride back from China when I went there. I fell asleep during that one too. I don't remember it. So the Aristocats has the same problem as I'm starting to see a trend here with these early Disney movies in that it's a fun kids movie, but I distinctly remember there being a racist depiction of a this cat, the Siamese cat. It's racist. I think it there's a scene when they're singing Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, where this cat, the Siamese cat, does chopsticks with chopsticks and goes like Shanghai tofu egg foo young or something like that. Fortune cookie always wrong. I forgot. And it's pretty offensive. It's nothing overtly despicable, but it's also not fun to watch anymore because of that. I remember liking this movie as a kid though. So I'm going to give it the same score I gave the other ones. We're starting to see a trend here. This is a fun movie though. Okay, out of where's Aristocats? Where is it? If you hear a buzz, that's my fan, by the way. Ah, the Aristocats. It's better than Dumbo and Peter Pan, though. I don't remember why, but I think it's the overall better movie. I actually don't remember what happens in it though. Let's see. Yeah, there's a trend here that I really don't like with these movies being fun but racist. Fun for kids but racist. But nothing overtly awful. There's nothing here so far that I would say is god awful. Robin Hood. This one has the. Okay, I've never watched this movie, but so one of my friends, and uh, she may be watching this live stream. She might not be. Some of you who are watching this might also know who I'm talking about. So I have a friend who really likes the hamster dance song. So the one that goes dee 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 do do dee 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 do, right? That one. And the intro to this movie has a slowed down version of that song. But this is from the 70s and the hamster dance is from like the 2000s, which leads me to believe that this is the originator of that song, or at the very least, this is the oldest reference to the hamster dance song I can find. But a slowed down version, which means that the hamster dance that we know from Gen Z YouTube is a cover. It's not actually it's not actually the original, which is kind of sad. I also know that a lot of people have like a thing for the girl in this movie, Maid Miriam. Yeah, I don't know about that. If you're into that stuff, good for you. It's not for me. I've never watched this movie. I just wanted to say that. The closer we get to like modern day Disney, the more knowledge I'm going to have overall. Winnie the Pooh, I've never watched that, but Piglet has anxiety, so me too, Piglet. Okay, from here on, I've watched most of these. The Rescuers. I don't remember this one at all, but I remember watching it. But if 12-year-old me thought that this was average, then current me probably thinks it's even more average than it is. I don't remember a single character's name in this movie, and I don't think it's because I watched it too long ago. Because a lot of these I only watched in my early teens or adolescent years. I just don't see. Okay, I'm looking here, and I see their names are Bernard and Miss Bianca, the rats or the mice, I guess. Um, but I don't remember a thing that happens. So by my own definition, it's getting a five because it's perfectly average. But I don't remember a thing. I could revisit this one day, and it will be higher up. But for now, it's I don't remember a thing. I feel like I want to rename D to Kitty but racist. We're not going to do that. Anyway, let's see. Where is Rescuers? Here it is. You're going in C tier by my own definition, and they're not ordered in the tier, by the way. Okay, Fox and the Hound is such a sad movie. This movie is beautiful. It's so sad. I feel like a lot of people dismiss this because it has a very childish tone, and the animation makes it look like it's one of those 50s Disney movies that are really average. But if you believe that, you can go watch it again. This is another one I haven't watched since I was like 12 or 13, but I distinctly remember everything that happens here. And also, if you still watch it as an adult and you don't get it, you can go eat a dick. 8 out of 10, this movie's great. I think I said 8 out of 10 is 8 here, right? It doesn't even matter. If we do find a 10 out of 10, which we will not find any 10 out of 10 movies, probably. But if we do, they'll also go on S tier. We'll make an S plus tier for them. Black Cauldron I've never watched, but I've heard that this movie almost caused the bankruptcy of Walt Disney Animation Studios. I could be wrong on that, but it was a gigantic commercial flop. Yeah, we don't like that here. Although, commercially, I don't really use that as a metric. A lot of movies I like didn't do well. This movie is in the same category as Rescuers, except I actually remember one of the characters, Ratigan, the big one, the villain. Is this the Sherlock Holmes one? Yeah, and they didn't even name the mouse or the rat. It's a mouse, right? The mouse, Sherlock Holmes. They called him Basil. I don't know how I feel about that, but this is basically a perfectly fine Sherlock Holmes movie. Maybe watching this older, I'd like it more, but I don't know. It's been a while. I'm still gonna rate it anyway. And that corresponds to C tier, I think. I have no idea where that movie is here. I don't think it is here. I could just also have really shitty vision. Yeah, I don't see it. If someone in the chat sees it, you can tell me. But I don't see it. Oliver and Company. I've never watched this, but it has Billy Joel, and so that's an automatic +1. I'm like Nadine's dad from The Edge of 17. I also like Billy Joel. Great movie, by the way. All right, now we're getting into the actual movies that are good. So we're getting into the Disney Renaissance once Disney figured out how to finally start making movies again and do better than before. So this is like am I going to give y'all movie history now? This is the Alan Menken, Howard Ashman era of movies when they actually figured out how to do good music that is integrated well into the story. This is one of those movies that as a little kid I didn't really like because I was saying, oh, this is too girlish. And now my favorite movie is Greta Gerwig's Little Women. So, fuck anyone who says, oh, this is too girlish or this is too boyish for you. Yeah, fuck you and your gender norms. This movie is a mere masterpiece. Some of the shit that happens here is kind of stupid. Ariel's not really that interesting of a character. But this is just an overall a solid movie. I think I would like it more now watching it as I'm older. I remember rewatching this when I was like 13 or 14, and I said, this movie is it flows so well. Every scene, no scene in this film is wasted, and that's kind of hard to do. It does make the movie shorter than you might expect, but it's okay because if you can tell your story in 83 minutes, you should only take 83 minutes. It's a 7 or an 8. I give it a 7. Oh, Ursula is one of my favorite Disney villains. I found out relatively recently that Ursula, the Sea Witch, is based on Divine, drag queen, and yeah, if you've ever watched Pink Flamingos, which is one of the I haven't watched it, but I've seen enough clips of it to know what it's like. One of the weirdest movies I've ever seen clips from. It's a weird movie. I don't know if I'd like it. Apparently, it's really popular. It's like one of those cult movies. Cult classics is the word. This movie is getting into, I I said B tier, right? I can't even remember. None of this really matters. The tiers don't actually matter. I just want to talk about Disney movies. Where is it? There's no way The Little Mermaid is not here. Where the fuck? Where is it? Oh, I see the Great Mouse Detective now. I don't see it. Am I? Am I? Oh, it's high up. Yeah, B tier is good. The Rescuers Down Under is basically Justin. This is my favorite movie of all time. Also, Justin, I give it a 7. Yeah, because I'm mean. I'm very. Look at my score distribution. Hold on. I want to show you my score distribution on Letterboxd. This is my distribution. I'm not okay. I'm not that mean. I'm kind of mean, but I'm not that mean. Uh, I give a lot of 8s and 9s, but a lot of these 9s are actually short films because I've given every Taylor Swift concert a 9 out of 10. So realistically, if you're only looking at films, this goes the number of things I've given a 9 out of 10 to goes down by like 5 because I give Taylor Swift concerts and documentaries 9 out of 10s. They don't get 10s. The actual albums that she has, I demote them down a point. Or unless it's the Reputation concert, then I bump it up a point from what I otherwise would have given it because the Reputation Stadium tour is life changing. Anyway, how did we get there? This is like an average movie. I remember it like it's in Australia though, and Australian animals are pretty cool. Nah, I don't remember anything. I don't remember a single thing that happens in that movie. So, uh, it's somewhere here. Here it is. Let's see. Okay, beauty. Okay, we're actually getting to the super duper good ones. So, you know how before I said that I was a little when I was younger, I was like, oh, I don't like The Little Mermaid. It's for girls. And now I'm like, fuck your gender norms. My thoughts on Beauty of the Beast are that, but like times 10. This is one of the best animated films of all time. Everything in this movie is functionally perfect. Okay? Every song, every scene, every frame, it flows so well. I used to like the line. Okay, spoilers alert. Spoiler alert. The Lion King used to be my favorite Disney movie, uh, and then I rewatched this. This is still not my favorite Disney movie, by the way. Okay, but it is probably their their masterpiece. Uh, I adore this movie. I do want to watch it again because it's been a while since I've seen this, but it's getting the rare coveted 9 out of 10. Actually, not that rare. The 10 out of 10 is rare. It's not a 10 because it's it doesn't quite touch me in the right way. You know, it's a masterpiece, but the emotional impact for me, the personal emotional impact, is not there. Not fully there. Not in the way where I would say, "Oh my god, this is one of my favorite movies of all time." So it's going into S tier because it is Disney's magnum opus and it is functionally perfect. But it's not a 10 out of 10. This is why I'm mean. All right. Oh boy. Aladdin. So I only see 3 people watching right now. And I feel like of those 3, one of them isn't paying attention. One of them is gonna say, huh, explain yourself, and one of them is gonna say, fuck you. Aladdin, 3.9 out of 5. That's the average. Out of 229,127 people, this is the average they've given. Oh, Kevin's here. Oh, hello. I knew for a fact that. How are you gonna, Kevin? How are you gonna come up as soon as they're talking about Aladdin? Um, this movie's not that good. On its own, it's not amazing. Okay, I see people calling this their favorite. Is it when I rewatched Aladdin when I was older? I said this movie's kind of boring. Until there are two good, super good things about this movie. Um, the genie, obviously, Robin Williams' genie. I think that this movie is pretty boring until Robin Williams comes in, and then a whole new world. Aside from those two things, this is like an average movie. So the 2019 remake of Aladdin is really good. They give Jasmine more of a role. The 2019 remake of Aladdin has Naomi Scott, which is almost enough to just bump it up a point. Just the fact that it has Naomi Scott, but I don't do that, okay? I don't really bump up movies just because they have an actor or an actress I like. With one exception, which I've talked about in the past, and some of y'all know it. But the ambiguity of the culture always pisses me off. So, hold on, let's take a look at the music. Slap. The music does slap. Okay, Aladdin has good music. Okay, that's also a plus. So if we hold on, we're gonna. What the fuck is this? This is beautiful animation. It's beautiful, but I have no idea where in the world this is supposed to be. So so these this architecture kind of makes me think Turkey, but it also kind of says India at some points, like Mughal India. But then you have a desert climate that makes me think. Well, there are parts of India that are in desert climates, but the way that they dress in the songs make me think. Not the songs, but like the score makes me think Egypt, and it is ambiguous. I don't know. I think film theory. Yeah, it's like Arab, but also India, but also Middle East, but also Hindu. Yeah, exactly. It's very ambiguous, and I get why they did that. It's fine. I think. I guess that's fine that they did that. But oh, also this isn't India because it's a sultan. I think, so it can't be. I don't think India. Mughal Empire did not have sultans, I believe. I haven't thought about the Mughal Empire since sixth grade, but I know enough history. Major ambiguity alert. Yeah, I'm gonna take off points for ambiguity. Sorry, Aladdin. 6 out of 10. This is a very fun movie, though. I will say I have not watched the 2019 remake. Um, where's Aladdin? I'm sorry. I know a lot of people really like Aladdin, but it's going into C tier. It's better than these three because at least I remember what happens in Aladdin. All right, now we have come to the crown jewel, the one that I've always said is my favorite, and it is the highest rated Disney movie on Letterboxd, but we don't really care about that. This is a masterpiece. It is one of the best animated movies of all time. Almost everything that happens in The Lion King is perfect. It's like Beauty and the Beast. It is almost perfect in that sense. There's some, tonally some things that are a little bit off, but it's offset by some of the best sequences ever put to film. When Mufasa dies, when I don't need to do. Do I need to do spoilers for The Lion King? No, I don't. I don't need to do spoilers. There's only like five of you, two of you watching right now anyway. And I know you both of you have seen The Lion King. When Mufasa dies, when Mufasa comes into the clouds, and Simba speaks to him, or I don't think Simba speaks to him. I think it's just Simba's all in Simba's head. The Circle of Life sequence, all of the songs. Okay, all the songs are certified bangers. The worst song in this movie, in my opinion, is still one of the best Disney songs. I'll let you guess which one that is. Oh, someone here has never watched The Lion King. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry. That's awkward. I need to explain why I'm gonna take away a point from the Lion King, but it involves spoilers. Let's just say I'm willing to take off points for environmental reasons. I'll just say this because it's not really a spoiler. Number one, the villains in this movie are Scar and the hyenas. That's okay because you find that out within like 10 minutes of the movie because this movie has perfect pacing. Um, and first of all, the hyenas are coded to be black and Hispanic. That's a big no no. Oh, I don't care about spoilers. I know the plot. Then why would you put because that implies oh my god. Anyway, let's just talk. Um, this movie also did a decent amount of damage to the reputation of hyenas in pop culture, and I don't like that. I never vlogged Jaws. Jaws is another movie where it's a masterpiece, but it caused such big ecological damage that I almost can't forget. Haha, six. uh, it caused such big ecological damage that I can't appreciate it the same way as a normal film. Sorry, my phone beeped. So in the past, I would have given The Lion King a 10 out of 10. Uh, I wrote my high school admission essay on The Lion King, actually. For those of you who went to high school with me, that's a fun fact. Um, so in the past, I would have called this my favorite animated movie. Of course, now I have animated movies that I love a lot more. Now this is probably in my top 50. Um, Bonus points to anyone who knows my favorite animated movies. There are only five. That might change, but yeah, this is a wonderful movie. If you have not watched the 1994 Lion King, you absolutely should, and avoid the 2019 remake at all costs. It almost feels bad not putting this in S tier where it actually belongs, but I did establish that 8 out of 10 is A. Again, it doesn't really matter. These tiers don't fucking matter. Pocahontas. This movie is also okay. How preachy do I want to get right now? So, okay, I'll get pretty preachy right now. The other movies that I put in C tier, so or D tier, so these three have individual racist scenes in them. Okay, they have scenes which on their own are racist. However, I'm not forgiving racism. I never will. But I will acknowledge that you can make the argument that they are products of their time. Pocahontas is an immediate no. Pocahontas is kind of iffy. Yep, exactly. Pocahontas was made in 1995. The fact that they made this in 1995 is very sus. So for those of you who don't know why this movie is racist, so this movie tries to do this thing where first of all, Pocahontas was a teenager. I don't know why you scaled her up in age. At least the fucking Peter Pan is not a real person, okay? Pocahontas was a real figure in history who was a teenager. That wasn't even her name, okay? Pocahontas was a playful term in the Powhatan language. This movie kind of almost tries to play both sides of the Native Americans versus the English settlers fighting, and that's a hell no for me. 1995 is not an excuse anymore. It wasn't an excuse in 1995. I don't despise. So let me say good things. Okay, let's say good things about this movie first. The music in this movie is fire. Colors of the Wind is my favorite Disney song. So it cannot be like a 1 out of 10. That's too low. 2 out of 10 is too low because it has Colors of the Wind. It has Just Around the Riverbed, which is another song I really love. And the animation is beautiful. So that's a given for most of these movies. There is one Disney movie that I think has bad animation. Is it a Disney movie? I don't even know. But so technically, this is an achievement. However, 2 or We Riot. 2 is too low. I think 2 is too low. I gave, what are the movies I've given it to? I gave Thor: The Dark World a 2. It's not that bad because this has good elements to it. It has good music, and it has good animation. But the story almost tries to both sides this conflict when, yes, both Native Americans and colonists died. However, if you're going to frame it that way in a movie, you know, you can't make it a love story and expect, you can't use real people. There's a problem when you use real historical figures to tell this story. And she was 12, 3. It's getting a 3 out of 10. This movie's bad. We're amending this so that F tier includes 3 out of 10. So D is going to be 4 out of 10s. F is going to be 3 out of 10s. We have our first F tier. Congratulations, Pocahontas. You have made history. You are the first F tier Disney movie. All right. It's very problematic. The way that it tries to both sides, the settler war with the Powhatan, and the way that it kind of, this is a real person, guys. You can't do that. Okay, we're here now. So some of you, I think everyone who's watching this, based on who's talking and the number of viewers, everyone here knows me pretty well. So I think you guys already know that this is my favorite Disney movie. Not counting Pixar. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is my favorite Disney movie. I don't know why the tagline is "Join the party." I have no idea why that's the tagline. Okay, I'll get the problems out of the way. The fucking gargoyles are annoying as fuck, and if the movie had stuck, can I spoil it? I'm gonna spoil this. This is not really a spoiler. If the movie had stuck to the gargoyles being only figments of Quasimodo's imagination and not had them participate in the final fight, then this would be a 10 out of 10. This would be WALL-E tier of good. However, at the end, the gargoyles participate in the fight, and it breaks the idea of them being figments of his imagination, and so that is the only thing wrong with this movie. Frodo is a very creepy villain. However, that is the whole point. That he is creepy. He is an example of a person who uses religion to take advantage of others. He is an example of a person who is a hypocrite. He tries to justify genocide with his fucked up religious worldview. If you even want to call it religious. Okay, I know some people who are religious who are good. Most religious people are good people. But you will always have people in power who are fucked up and creepy. And this movie is quite dark for a Disney movie, but it works because that is the real world right there. Is this Demi Moore? Oh, I didn't know that. I've never watched it. Oh, I guess I've watched one Demi Moore movie now. I don't know Demi Moore except from the Phoebe Bridgers song. But now I realize she was also in Hunchback. Very cool. The animation here is gorgeous. I think that Hunchback has better animation than The Lion King, actually. Yeah, I do. I think that the way that the animation is done here of Notre Dame is beautiful. The soundtrack is a banger. This is the best soundtrack, in my opinion, of any Disney movie. Every song is basically perfect, and it has a very powerful message about so many different things, about self-love, about breaking free from abusive families, about the use of religion in evil ways. It is a masterpiece. I'm gonna give this the 9. It's not a 10 because of the fucking gargoyles being real physical things that can interact with the world. If they did not interact, if the movie had just left the gargoyles out of the final fight, if they had just done that, then this would be a 10 out of 10. But it's not. Hercules, more like Huncules. I watched this recently because it's always playing on Freeform, channel 199 if you have Verizon. This movie's really funny. I think the joke that got to me this time, the most recent time I watched this, was the Air Hercs when uh is it Pain or Panic? He's wearing it's this thing. It's this scene where one of the demons is wearing Air Hercs, and I thought this was really fucking funny. This is really funny. What do I give it? I don't even know what to give it. I Won't Say I'm in Love is invented music. That song is a certified bang. If you have never watched the movie, go listen to that song first. The muses are such a creative way to frame the movie. However, and you guys know I'm pretty mean when I rate these movies. However, the one thing I don't like is that this movie bastardizes Greek mythology in so many ways. So I cannot give it a 9 or an 8. I'm so sorry. It's getting a 7. Because it's still amazing. I mean, I guess if I take it as its own mythology, it works. But can I separate them is the question. I don't think I can. I wasn't this nice to the Percy. I was very mean to the Percy Jackson. That is one of my least favorite movies of all time. The Percy Jackson movie. I despise that movie. Okay? There are technically worse movies out there, like The Room, but The Room is hilarious and I love it. The Percy Jackson movie is one of my bottom 5 least favorite movies of all time. If I could give it a 0 out of 10, I would. Okay? I could also just not rate it, but that would imply that I can't. No, no. How did we get to Percy Jackson? Oh boy. I forgot that this one was coming up. I know I said Hunchback is my favorite, but now I kind of want to. I'm considering taking it back. The one thing I can't get past is Hercules' gigantic feet at the beginning. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Well, that's why it's a 7. It's not a 6. It's better than Aladdin. Anyway, back to Mulan. This. I'm debating giving this a 10 out of 10. That would be an accomplishment to give any movie a 10 out of 10. Because I don't give it to that many movies. This movie is, when I say that Beauty and the Beast is perfect, I mean it perfect as in it is like it is like a sculpture done by a Florentian artist during the Renaissance. It is crafted with such perfection and skill. Mulan is like a different kind of perfection. You know, on a technical level, Beauty and the Beast is still better, but this is an emotional masterpiece. Chef's kiss on the training sequence. Yes, I'll make a man out of you. Is I don't work out. Evidently, I don't work out, but if I did, that would be my training song. In fact, yeah, that is just my jam. It is a perfect song. However, in my heart, I don't feel that it deserves the 10. I'm so sorry. Just know that this is now tied with Hunchback for my favorite Disney movie. It's getting a 9. It's the close. This and Hunchback are almost 10s, and I feel like if I were to rewatch them now, if I liked them any more than I originally did, they'd go up to 10. But for now, we're gonna keep them at 9. Okay, I'm gonna give them the Lady Bird treatment. I originally gave Lady Bird a 9 out of 10 in my first live stream. And then I rewatched it and I decided, what was I thinking? This is a 10. That might happen with Hunchback and Mulan. Uh, what's I recently watched The Edge of 17, and the first time I watched it, I gave it an 8 out of 10. The second time I watched it, I gave it a 9. It might go up to a 10, but I don't think so. But we'll see. Mulan is almost a 10. I don't even know where to begin talking about this movie. Tarzan. Tarzan is a movie that I think people hate on too much. The Phil Collins songs are okay. I know that people have a problem with this one being like it having the disembodied Phil Collins voice singing the songs as opposed to the characters singing the songs, and I get that. I also have that issue with it. It kind of makes the movie the music feel a little less immersive into the world. That's completely fair. However, I will counter that with Phil Collins. So I think they even out now. On a technical level, the animation is stunning. It does some incredible sequences whenever they're swinging through the trees. Some of that 3D technology is in play, and it looks spectacular. There's a word for it. If any of you are animation students, you might know the word that I'm thinking of, but it's escaping me. And this is one of the saddest, most emotional Disney movies. If you don't cry during this movie, well, I think you have issues. Eight. Oh my god. Let's put Mulan in S. Let's put Tarzan in A, where it deserves. This score, this average, 3.6, so that's like a 7.2 on my scale, is too low. It's an 8. Fantasia 2000, I watched this a long time ago. It's not really a movie. It's also a visual concert. I don't remember anything that happens, though. I guess by my... No, I think I need to rewatch this one because as a kid I couldn't sit through this. Dinosaur I've never watched, but I heard it's annoying. Emperor's New Groove is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. Kronk is probably the best. Kronk is probably one of the best characters in all of fiction, I think. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement to make. Kronk is one of the best characters ever made. So this movie falls into what I call, well, I didn't invent this, but it falls into the Thor Ragnarok trap of there are real emotional sequences going on here, but then the movie decides to cut it with humor, which in and of itself isn't that much of a problem, but it happens so much in this movie and during sequences which I feel should have been left to play out emotionally that it kind of cuts the tension a little bit. Other than that, I don't really have a problem. This is just a pure comedy, and you just have to take it as that. Except for the word is bathos, if you want to look it up. Bathos is I believe it's a literary device. I could be wrong though, where you try to cut moments of tension with comedy or lightheartedness, and it works in some cases. It's a problem I have with the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, and it's a problem I have with this movie a little bit. But that's really the only problem it has. So, otherwise, I can watch this movie whenever. 7 out of 7. Where is it? Emperor's New. Oh, here you are. Atlantis. I don't feel comfortable rating this one because I haven't watched this one in a very long time, and I feel like this is one of those movies where I should watch it again. We're gonna put this one on hold for now. Lilo and Stitch is a 9. Easily. This movie can compete with anything during the Disney Renaissance of the 90s. It is better than The Lion King. It is on like a perfection level, it is technically like Beauty and the Beast. It probably has the best cultural representation from Disney up until this point. Um, I feel like if I were to watch this again now, because I haven't watched this one in a really long time, it's almost on the level of like Hunchback and Mulan, where it would just take me watching this again to decide that this is a 10 out of 10. Um, but is it a 10? No, it's a 9. That's no small feat, by the way. Where is it? I saw you here before. Where is it? I just saw it. Oh, here we are. Next to Moana, the other Pacific Islander Disney movie, which we will get to shortly. Not shortly, we still have some ways to go. Treasure Planet. That movie made me listen to Elvis. Lilo and Stitch? I don't remember Elvis and Lilo and Stitch, but again, I haven't watched it in a while. So, Treasure Planet. Another movie where it has been a while since I've watched it. And so I know that this is I know that this movie bombed in the box office. But I also remember this movie being very, very good. The I remember this movie. So I did I read Treasure Island as a little kid? I don't remember. But I know the original story of Treasure Island, and I know that this movie takes you on a bit of a different twist on that story. With, well, I know that some people who are watching this have not watched this, so I'm going to avoid spoilers. They got to make another one, like a sequel or like a remake. I don't think they need a remake for this movie. I think the animation is already stellar in this one. It's cyberpunk, steampunk rather. It's not cyberpunk. It's steampunk. Speaking of cyberpunk, though, you should watch Arcane. Uh, has Arcane is one of the best animated shows I've ever seen. A sequel, yeah, I would like to see a sequel with this movie. They did this movie dirty at the box office. People did not appreciate this movie enough. And if you have family parent issues, yeah, I can't recommend this movie enough. 8 out of 10. For those of you who are wondering why I'm taking a point off, it's because of that fucking robot character who is very annoying. Brother Bear. I liked this movie a little. It was nothing amazing, but I liked it. It's been a while. Maybe I just have a little emotional connection to this movie because I had like a picture book of it. Uh, I'm gonna give it a 5. I think 5 is fair for Brother Bear. I don't really have much to say about it, other than I remember liking it. So C tier. I've never watched Home on the Range. I probably never will. Never watched Chicken Little. Probably never will. One of my friends says Meet the Robinsons is her favorite movie, and actually the friend who got me interested in Letterboxd. So I'm probably gonna have to watch this one. But I've never watched it myself, sorry. Arcane was amazing. I cannot wait for I don't play League. Let's make that clear. I don't play League. But something about that show. It started off a little iffy to me, but then it grew on me. Never watched Princess and the Frog, probably should. I haven't watched Tangled in a really long time, but it's better than Frozen. You guys already know that. It has Mandy Moore as Rapunzel. Like, come on. It has Zachary. It has Shazam as Flynn Rider. It's not great. Should watch Chicken Little. It's not great. I will put that on the list, and I will let you know when I watch it. Let me write that down now. Episode 3 of Arcane deserves an award. Was that the one where oh, I probably shouldn't spoil anything. That's the one where I think, yeah, yeah. That's the one before the time skip, right? It's the last episode where they're still in the far past, right? And then they skip ahead into the future. Um the big fight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would agree. Um Episode 3 is a very good episode. My personal favorite episode of Arcane is the last one of season 1, so episode 9. Uh so some of y'all are going ahead and looking up the Arcane cast and coming at me for why I like it. For the record, no, it's just a very good show. If Arcane's not on, Arcane used to be on Letterboxd, but they took it off before I could log it, and now I don't think it's here. This is not the show. This is a short film. Um, Arcane, the show, if it were here, would get an 8. Season 1 would get an 8. It's not a 9, because I'm mean. Tangled gets an 8. I love Tangled. It's better than Frozen. Everyone knows Tangled is better than Frozen. If you think Frozen is better than Tangled, you need to get a life. Are we at Frozen yet? Winnie the Pooh. I have watched the Winnie the Pooh movie. This isn't. This is like a compilation kind of. I don't remember a thing. Oh, apparently it does have a plot. What the hell? I don't remember a thing. 5 out of 10. I know there was another Winnie the Pooh before, so we need to think of which one. Or is it only this one? It's only this one. Wreck-It. We did Wreck-It Ralph already. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I think that stands. I already reviewed this one in the other Letterboxd live stream. It's a 6 out of 10. Sorry, Wreck-It Ralph fans. Oh boy. Frozen is. Frozen is a 6 out of 10. I still really like this movie. When I if it's ever on um if it's ever on Freeform, I'll watch it. But that fucking twist is so bad. Those of you who have watched this movie, everyone's watched this movie, but if for some reason you haven't, I'm not going to spoil it. But those of you who have watched this movie know exactly what I'm talking about. The twist is bad. It comes out of nowhere, and it's not coming out of nowhere in a good way. It's coming out of nowhere in a bad way. It spoils the whole movie. They didn't need to include it, but they did for some reason. And it's still really good because I still enjoy it very much. Maybe it was just the media saturation of it. I don't know. Okay. So, how many people are watching this right now? 3 people. 3 people were also watching when we got to Aladdin. Now, let me just repeat something. I gave Aladdin a 6 out of 10. That means it's still a really good movie. It's above average. But I guess that's an unpopular opinion. Now, apparently, everyone loves this movie. I'm so sorry. You guys know what's about to happen. I don't like this movie. It's boring to me. It's good for the first 10 minutes. And then I watched this on the plane to the Philippines and I fell asleep. That's not good. Because normally I don't fall asleep watching movies on planes. And that's weird. But I normally stay awake when I'm watching movies, especially if it's my first time. This movie's not good. I'm so sorry. Baymax is amazing. The rest of this movie is not good. Um, the plot twist is so stupid. The villain is so stupid, and not in a good way. The other characters, I cannot name. I can name Hero, and I can name Baymax, and I cannot name a single other character. If you show me any of these, hold on, hold on. I cannot name a single character here besides Hero and Baymax. I don't know who any of these people are. I didn't even know that this was like. I don't even know who is this the. I can't. Whatever. I'm so sorry, y'all. It's a 4 out of 10. It's not good. It's saved by Baymax. That's all I'll say. Otherwise, this is not a good movie. I'm sorry. I know people love it, and I'm happy that you find movies that you love. But no, for me, this doesn't do it. And I think if I were to rewatch this, I would like it less. But maybe, maybe I'll rewatch it and I'll like it more. Who knows? But I don't. I didn't like it enough the first time to warrant a rewatch. If you guys really think I should rewatch Big Hero 6, then I will. But no, I'm sorry. It's boring. The plot is stupid. Baymax is cute, but that's not enough. So Totoro is a masterpiece. But this movie, Big Hero 6, is not trying to be Totoro. If it had stuck with being Totoro, then it would have been a good movie. But the fact that it tries to have a plot with a villain and whatever else happens in that movie, no, absolutely not. I don't think your opinion would change. Yeah, so 4 out of 10. It's not god awful. Okay, if Baymax was any less cute, it would be god awful. It would be almost Pocahontas tier. Zootopia. Let's talk about Zootopia. So, those of you who know me, everyone who's currently watching this live knows me pretty well. You would think that this is one of my favorites because it is a very good kind of allegory. It's not a one-to-one perfect analogy of black people and white people in the real world. Okay? It's so the first time I watched, okay, let's frame it like this. I've always thought Zootopia is an amazing movie because I've always liked films that do social commentary in nuanced ways. I don't like movies like Bright. I hate Bright, where they try to say racism is because people are mean to each other. Not quite yet, but we'll get there. I don't know what movie, what statement you're referring to when you say that, but what I'm so I think Zootopia has a very good good introduction into thinking about prejudice, and I guess you can call it racism. But I watched this before 2020, and since then uh, I've learned a lot more about systemic racism and critical race theory. I'm no expert, but I've learned more since then. And I wonder if I were to revisit this movie now with that lens in mind, with more knowledge in mind, after having read Michelle Alexander and Brian Stevenson, how I would react to this movie now. I don't quite know. But to high schooler me, this was amazing. I would have to rewatch this movie to give it an accurate rating. Uh, so for now, I'm going to give it the score that high school me would have given it, which is an 8. I'm going to do that. Hmm. Yeah, I'm going to keep it there. But this one warrants, let me write that down. This one warrants a rewatch. This one warrants a rewatch with a more critical lens in mind. And that puts it in what tier? A tier. A tier. I don't know why Toy Story is here. It's not a. It's a Pixar movie. It's not a Walt Disney Animated Studios movie. There are 3 left. Apparently, I logged Frozen 2 already because I watched this after I made a letterbox. We'll talk about. I don't really have much to say about that. It's bad. Moana is an 8. It's an 8. This is just a very solid movie. It stands up to the Disney classics, if you ask me, and it will go down as a Disney classic. My one issue, I have one issue with this movie, and it's a minor issue. It would bump it up to a 9. My one issue is they have one song that's um, written in a music style that would have been familiar. That is, I would say, uh, that incorporates Polynesian culture into the music, not just the theme of the movie, but into the music. It's "We Know the Way." If they had done that for every other song here, used Polynesian instruments and Polynesian music styles, if they had done that for every other song, this would be a 9. And you might say I'm nitpicking, but Coco made it work, and Coco's a 10. But Coco's a 10 because it is my reverse Turing test. If you make it through Coco without crying, you are not human. You are a computer. You may not. You might even make computers cry. Um, Ralph Briggs the Internet. I watched this on a plane ride. Look, okay. When you're Asian and you take a plane ride to anywhere in East Asia, you have 24 hours to kill. You can watch so many movies. Okay. Um, I don't remember this well. This movie has a lot of product placement, and I don't really like that. And it's kind of stupid, but it has been a while since I watched this. Um, I'm gonna give it a perfectly average score. It could, I could rewatch it and demote it because I know that watching it now it would get demoted. Oh, this tier list doesn't have that, so this is too old for that, I guess. Um, Please tell me you fell asleep to this. I didn't fall asleep to Ralph Breaks the Internet. Actually, I too old for that. I watched it the whole way through without falling asleep, but it's not. It wasn't amazing, and it's not on the tier list. I guess this is too old. Um, Actually, the more I think about it, you know, I rated Brother Bear even though I haven't. I rated some of these movies even though I haven't watched them since I was like a little kid. So maybe I'll go back and rate the ones that I haven't watched since I was much younger, like Sleeping Beauty. Not really. I don't feel like it. And then I already rated Frozen 2. This movie's bad. It's confusing. It's I still don't know what the plot of Frozen 2 is. I watched this one recently and I don't even remember. You cannot explain this plot to me and make it make sense. I have no idea what was going on half the time in this movie, and it wasn't because I wasn't paying attention, because I was. It's because the storytelling is incomprehensible. Um, so the more that makes me want to demote it. The more I talk about it, I'm being too mean. It's not incomprehensible storytelling. It's just bad storytelling. I get why. I get why. I understand what's happening in the moment, but I can't put them together and make a cohesive story. This feels like a first draft of a movie, and they haven't taken out the things that don't make sense yet. So that is every Walt Disney Animated Studios movie up until Frozen 2. There are two other movies that are falling under this category, Raya and the Last Dragon, which I have not watched. My friend said 6 and 8. I have not watched this movie. I plan on doing so. I will watch Raya, but not yet. And Encanto, which I've heard is also really good. But then again, y'all told me that Shang-Chi was amazing, and I watched it and I was like, this is okay, I guess. So yeah, let's review. Actually, let's go back to that list. What percentage of these movies? We have seen 50% of them. Not bad. Oh, it's a little bit less than 50% because we didn't count Raya and Encanto. All right. And now we can. The cool thing about Letterboxd is now we can sort them by my rating. Highest first. And yeah, this is about right. It doesn't make a distinction between like movies with the same number score. So I believe it's in the order they were rated, or the list order in this case. So realistically, if I were to order this however I wanted, Hunchback and Mulan would be number one. It's, Edge to Hunchback, I guess, although it's close. Beauty and the Beast and the Lilo and Stitch would be 3 and 4 in whatever order you like. And number 5 would be I don't know. I don't know. I guess the next one I'll watch is based on my list here. I'll watch Chicken Little for you, Kev, and I will watch Meet the Robinsons next. Okay. It's 10:40, and I basically did what I said I would do. I've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes. 40 minutes, right? What have we been talking? Oh, an hour and 18 minutes. I thought 40 because I saw the time and it said 10:41. All right. We are done here. All right. That was the last video of 2021. All right. If you disagree with me and want to call me stupid, you can comment it. And my Letterboxd is up. If you want to see what I gave other movies. This is me. Ooh. Okay. Let's see how the score distribution changed. It's changed a little bit, I think. Yeah, it's changed a little bit. The frequency of 10 out of 10s went down because clearly it would. Okay. It's slowly becoming more like I said it originally would, where 5 is the mean, median, and mode. But we're not there with the mode. I don't think we're there with the mean, and we're definitely not there with the median. We're not even close. So yeah, I'm not. When I score these movies, I'm not thinking how will this affect the distribution in mind. I don't have that in mind. It just so happens to be that I don't normally watch things that would garner these lower scores. Because even when a movie is god awful, if it's funny, I love it. Like The Room. Meet the Robinsons, I def recommend. I will tell you when I watch Meet the Robinsons, Kevin. All right. Uh, Happy holidays, everyone. Uh, I've been doing nothing all break, and I intend to keep it that way. All right. Good night, everybody. And stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Woo!